Hey guys, this is Jeanette, and I'm going to be reading an excerpt from my debut Carina Press novel, The Game of Love. This piece comes from Brett and Christina's first kiss, so let's get to it. Still seeing red, she straddled his lap, her knees sinking into the couch. His eyes were wide and his lips were slightly parted. Cupping his jaw between her hands, feeling stubble from his o'clock shadow, she angled her head and prepared to show him that she was in complete control of her life. But instead of a bruising kiss, she found a gentle reception, a soft landing place where his mouth absorbed her pressure, letting her set the pace. His hands rested on her waist, not making a move, not squeezing, just the right pressure for balance. Then the dynamic changed, and she could only admit it was for the better. He responded with more fervor, the tip of his tongue coaxing her mouth open. His tongue swept in, gentle and sweet, but also intense. She tasted spearmint like he'd been chewing gum. He smelled like the grass from the field. One hand smoothed a path up her back under her sweatshirt but over her tank. His palm made lazy circles on her back that mimicked the rhythm of their kiss. It was a light, almost reverent touch, and she finally knew what Katie meant when she had once said she loved kissing so much she could do it for hours alone. If this was how it was supposed to be done, sign her up for a marathon event. With his left hand still rubbing her back, the right crept up, his fingers just barely sliding under her shirt. Her skin warmed to his touch, and he didn't press further. Then he started to scratch lightly, just enough to feel through the fabric, and she was lost in a pleasure-filled rush of sensations. She moaned and deepened the kiss further, shocked there was a way to make it any more intense. She slid one hand into his short hair, grabbing onto what she could to anchor her. Brett took her reaction as an invitation for his right hand to explore further. Fingers crept up her ribcage, walking along as if counting the bones. He reached the underside of her breast, and she shivered at the caress on the sensitive skin. She braced herself for the itty-bitty-titty jokes. Then her heart soared when his big hand closed over her breast, kneading, and he simply sighed in response. Maybe he wasn't a boob man. Just as well, since she didn't have much to offer in that area. His left hand started to push her tank up, and her fogged brain sang hallelujah, but in the middle of the second chorus, the Pink Panther theme song pierced through the haze. Her ringtone for Katie. Brett chuckled into her mouth. Pink Panther? He pulled back, arched one eyebrow, and she felt the urge to punch him in the arm. But first, she lunged for the phone on the coffee table, a heaven-sent warning, a reprieve from the inferno she was willingly tossing herself into. Katie. Hi. Crap, she sounded like she'd just run a marathon. Her heart pounded as if she'd just finished a third-set tiebreak. Gotta calm down. She pressed a hand to her chest, as if that could slow the rapid beating. A pause, then. Why are you breathing so hard? I just had to run for the phone, so what's up? She turned her back to Brett, hoping he would take the hint and leave so she didn't have to deal with the post-kiss awkwardness. I was just calling to let you know that Brett snatched the phone away from her. Katie? Yeah, it's Brett. His deep voice rumbled over the top of her head. Chris is busy. She'll call you back later. He snapped the phone shut and tossed it on her overstuffed armchair. Problem solved. This has been an excerpt reading by me, Jeanette, from my debut romance novel, The Game of Love. For more information, head over to my website at www.JeanetteMurray.com. Thanks for listening.